The Statement of Applicability is one of the most important documents in ISO 27001, and this module will help you fill it out. The main purpose of the Statement of Applicability is to list all of the 114 controls from ISO 27001 Annex A and to specify for each control whether it is applicable or not, why, and how to implement it. The main inputs for the Statement of Applicability are the requirements listed in the Register of Requirements, as well as the controls that you listed in the Risk Register. You could also consider this Statement of Applicability to be a security profile of your company, because you will list all of the things that you will do for your company's security here in one place. As an important output of this statement, the Risk Treatment Plan is created, which will be explained later on. Conformio fills out many things automatically. The list of controls is already taken from Annex A of ISO 27001. Anytime a control is required by an interested party or because of a risk, this control will be automatically marked as applicable in the Statement of Applicability, and the justification is also filled out automatically. In some cases, there will be controls that you already applied before starting this project, or controls that you think are common sense. In such cases, you can manually mark those controls as applicable, even if there is no requirement or related risk, and specify in the justification that this was a management decision. If a control is applicable, the implementation method is already suggested by Conformio, but in some cases, you will need to adapt the implementation method manually for your specific needs. For each control, you can specify 3 different types of implementation. A document that will describe the implementation, for example, a backup policy. A task, for example, to purchase a subscription to Dropbox to back up all the documents. Or a textual description. For example, all paper documents are scanned to prevent their loss. You can specify all 3 different types of implementation for a particular control, or only 1 or 2 of them. If the control is not applicable, you simply leave implementation method empty, and under justification, write something like, "There are no risks or requirements for this control." To complete your work on the Statement of Applicability, you need to click the Next Step button. Then, Conformio will ask you to mark the controls that have been already implemented prior to your ISO 27001 project. Later on, during your implementation of the standard, you will see that statuses in the Statement of Applicability will change automatically. For example, once you start working on a document that is related to a particular control, Conformio will automatically change the status of that control from planned to under implementation. Similarly, once you complete all the tasks or documents related to a particular control, the status of this control will be changed automatically to implemented. After completing the Statement of Applicability, the next document is the Risk Treatment Plan. The purpose of this plan is to define the implementation plan for the controls that are not yet implemented. In other words, the Risk Treatment Plan will take all of the controls from the Statement of Applicability with statuses of planned and implementation underway and ask you to define the deadlines, who is in charge of their implementation, and which resources will be needed. Once you fill out this information for all of the items and hit the Send for Approval button, Conformio will automatically ask the resource approver, the person you specified in the initial setup of Conformio, to approve those resources. After the resources are approved, the risk owners will automatically receive the task to approve the risk treatment plan, because this is required by the standard. Once all risk owners approve the risk treatment plan, the implementation methods for controls in the Statement of Applicability will become active. This means that the documents you specified will be added as new steps in the ISO 27001 Main Steps Wizard, and new tasks will be displayed in the Responsibility Matrix. Further, a PDF version of the Statement of Applicability and the Risk Treatment Plan will be automatically created in your Documents section.